The galaxy's largest empire watched its capital system in calm silence as it had for thousands of years. Massive defense stations floated in perfect formation. Thousands of warships rested in orbit. Nothing could enter this system without permission. Then space bent. It was not a jump gate. It was not a warp signal. There was no warning, no energy spike, no readable pattern. One moment, space was empty. The next moment, something existed where nothing had been before. A ship. It was enormous. Larger than any known battleship. Larger than most stations. It moved slowly, as if it did not care who was watching. Its hull was dark and scarred, covered in deep marks that looked like old battle wounds. Parts of it were broken and rebuilt many times over. The ship looked ancient, but the energy coming from it made every sensor scream in fear. Technicians rushed to their stations, screens filled with errors. Range data changed every second. The ship's size could not be measured correctly. Its mass kept shifting as if the ship did not fully exist in normal space. Defense commanders ordered target locks. None worked, weapons refused to aim, missiles lost guidance. Energy cannons shut down without explanation. The Empire's strongest defenses became useless in seconds. Panic spread across command decks. "What is it?" someone asked. No one answered. The ship continued forward, passing the outer defense ring like it was not there. Its engines glowed with a soft blue-white light, calm and steady. There was no sign of aggression, no weapons charged. No shields raised. That made it worse. A historian officer stared at the markings on the hull. They were faded, almost erased by time, but the shape, the symbols. Her breathing stopped. She whispered a single word. "Human." The room went silent. Humans were a myth. A warning story told to young officers, a dead species from a forgotten age. Their homeworld, Earth, had fallen centuries ago. Their fleets were destroyed, their name removed from most records. The galaxy had moved on. Yet here was a human ship, old, broken, alive. The Empire's leaders were contacted within seconds. Emergency councils formed across the system. Some refused to believe it. Others demanded immediate attack. Many were simply afraid. Before any decision was made, the ship acted. Without firing a shot, the entire star system went dark. Defense stations shut down. Warships lost power. Even civilian habitats flickered and fell silent. Only basic life support remained. The human ship was the only thing still glowing. It stopped just outside the capital planet's orbit and waited. Hours passed. The Empire tried everything, backup systems. Ancient analog controls, emergency reactors, nothing worked. The ship had not destroyed anything. It had commanded the system to sleep. At last a signal appeared, not words, not sound. A simple data pulse sent on every known frequency, a greeting. The signal was translated slowly, old languages, older codes. The final message appeared on the main screen. "We have returned." Fear turned into something deeper, memory. Across the galaxy, ancient archives were opened. Dusty records were read again. Stories once dismissed as exaggerations were studied with new eyes. Humans had been different. They were not the strongest. They were not the oldest. They did not have godlike technology. But they refused to accept limits. When attacked, they adapted. When defeated, they learned. When pushed to extinction, they did not surrender. The final war against Earth had been brutal. The galaxy believed it was necessary. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous, too fast to grow. Earth burned. Human signals went silent. Victory was declared. But there had been rumors even then. One ship never returned. A ship sent on a deep exploration mission beyond known space. A ship lost to time, declared destroyed, forgotten. Now it was here. The human ship began to move again, slowly circling the capital planet. Its shadow passed over cities filled with billions of alien lives. People looked up and felt small. The ship did not threaten, it observed. Inside the ship, something watched the galaxy with calm patience. The minds inside were no longer only human. They were more than flesh, more than machine. They remembered Earth, they remembered fire, they remembered the galaxy turning away. And they remembered why they had come back. The Empire finally sent a message, trembling but proud. "This system is under our control. Identify yourself?" The reply came instantly. "We know who you are," the human ship answered. "You are still here because we allowed it," the message ended. No attack followed, no explanation came. The ship remained silent, hanging above the world like a judgment that had not yet been spoken. Across the galaxy, sensors began to detect something impossible: more signals, more movements in deep space. The lost ship was not alone. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt the same fear it once felt long ago. Humanity had returned. And the galaxy was not ready. The human ship did not move. It stayed above the capital world, silent and patient, like a hunter that had already won. The Empire's leaders watched from underground chambers, surrounded by dark screens and quiet fear. Nothing like this had ever happened. The Empire had faced wars, rebellions, even ancient machines left behind by dead civilizations. But this was different. The ship did not fight. It controlled, military commanders argued. Some demanded immediate attack once power returned. Others warned that the ship was far beyond their understanding. One question haunted them all. Why now? Across the galaxy, emergency signals spread faster than fear. Other empires received the warning and reacted in panic. Fleets were recalled, borders were sealed. Ancient weapons were removed from deep storage. The name human appeared again in official records after centuries of silence. Many younger species had never heard it before. Older ones remembered. In distant systems, ancient beings closed their eyes and felt something they had not felt in a very long time: regret. Long ago, humans had arrived on the galactic stage as newcomers. Their ships were smaller, their weapons were weaker, their technology was rough and unfinished. The galaxy laughed. Humans were allowed limited space, watched closely, controlled through rules and trade laws. When humans pushed boundaries, they were punished. But humans kept learning. They studied alien tech. They improved faster than expected. Their engineers solved problems others had accepted as impossible. Their ships became tougher. Their pilots became dangerous. The galaxy grew nervous. Then came the war. It was not started by humans, but humans were blamed. The galaxy decided it was safer to remove them early before they grew too strong. A united fleet descended on Earth. The war was supposed to be short. It was not. Humans fought in ways the galaxy did not understand. They used damaged ships as weapons. They turned civilian stations into traps. They refused to retreat even when defeat was certain. When Earth finally burned, victory felt hollow. Too costly, too loud, and too final. After the war, the galaxy erased humanity from history. Records were sealed. Warnings were buried. The word human was spoken less and less. Time passed. Peace returned, or so they thought. Now the past had come back. On the capital planet, scientists studied the human ship from afar. Every scan failed. Every attempt to understand its systems ended in confusion. The ship was not just advanced. It was different. Its structure did not follow known physics. Power flowed through materials that should not exist. Its engines bent space without tearing it. This technology didn't exist during the war, one scientist whispered. That's because this isn't war-era technology, another replied. This is evolved. The truth slowly became clear. The human ship had not survived by chance. It had grown. Meanwhile, inside the ship, the remnants of humanity watched quietly. They remembered their final orders: explore beyond known space, find new paths, new futures. Then the war began. When they tried to return, Earth was gone. Human command was silent. For a long time, the crew mourned. Many wanted revenge. Others wanted to hide. The ship's AI listened to every voice. It chose survival. Time passed differently in the deep void. The ship adapted to strange space, strange energy, and strange threats. Crew members aged, then changed. Their bodies merged with machines. Their minds were preserved. They became something new. Not conquerors, observers, protectors of a future that did not yet exist. Now that future had arrived. Back in the capital system, power flickered back on. The Empire's leaders felt relief until they realized something was wrong. Only basic systems returned. Weapons remained offline. Shields remained inactive. The human ship allowed just enough power to live. A message arrived again. This time it was clearer. You destroyed our home, the ship said calmly. You believed we were finished, the Empire did not reply. We did not return for revenge, the voice continued. We returned to see what you became, the message ended. Across the galaxy, more strange signals appeared. Old exploration zones lit up. Ancient sensor arrays activated for the first time in centuries. Something was moving. Other empires realized the terrible truth. If one human ship had returned, how many others were still out there? Panic spread. Some empires prepared for war. Others sent secret peace messages. A few began to evacuate their worlds. The galaxy was breaking before a single battle had begun. Above the capital planet, the human ship finally turned. Its engines brightened. Not to flee, but to move deeper into the system. The empires watched in silence. The age of forgetting was over. And the age of humanity was beginning again. The human ship moved deeper into the system, slow and steady. It did not rush. It did not hide. Every empire watching could see it clearly, as if it wanted to be seen. Defense fleets followed at a distance, powerless and uncertain, like guards walking behind a king they could not command. Inside the empire's capital, leaders argued again. Why haven't they attacked? Why are they still here? No one had answers. The ship stopped near a dead moon, far from cities and stations. Its engines dimmed, silence returned. Then something impossible happened. Time shifted. Sensors across the system began reporting strange readings. Clocks desensed, gravity rippled softly around the ship. Space itself seemed to stretch and tighten like a living thing. Scientists realized the ship was not just in space. It was touching time. Long-range archives were opened once more. Old exploration reports were reread. The Empire searched for any record of human activity beyond the war. They found one, a single mission. A deep space exploration ship sent beyond mapped reality, tasked with finding paths that ignored known limits. The mission ended suddenly. No wreckage was found. No signal returned. The ship's name was classified. But its purpose was clear. It was built to survive where nothing else could. Centuries ago, when the ship vanished, the galaxy believed it was destroyed. In truth, it had crossed into a region where time moved slowly, unevenly, sometimes not at all. For the crew, days passed. For the galaxy, centuries vanished. The ship drifted through strange stars and dead universes. It faced creatures made of radiation and storms that erased matter. Each threat should have ended it. Each time, the ship changed. The AI rewrote itself. Systems rebuilt around damage instead of removing it. Human engineers became something else entirely. Flesh was too weak. Machines alone were not enough. So they merged. Human minds were preserved in living networks. Thought replaced muscle. Memory replaced blood. They were no longer bound by one body. They became the ship. Inside the human vessel, the past was always present. They remembered laughter on Earth, open skies, the sound of oceans. They remembered the moment the war signal arrived and the silence that followed. They waited not for revenge, for the right moment. Now that moment had come. The ship released a small object toward the dead moon. It looked simple, a smooth sphere of dull metal. It touched the surface, the moon changed. Rock shifted into metal, craters smoothed. Structures rose silently from nothing. In minutes, the dead moon became a perfect base, glowing faintly with human design. The Empire watched in shock. Terraforming without atmosphere, construction without workers. This was not technology, this was mastery. A message followed. We adapted, the ship said. You forced us to. Fear spread deeper. The Empire's strongest military leader demanded action. This thing is too dangerous. We must destroy it before more arrive. Against reason, against fear, a fleet was launched. Hundreds of ships advanced, weapons dead but hulls moving. They planned to ram the human ship, to sacrifice themselves if needed. The human ship did not move. As the fleet approached, space between them folded. Ships vanished, not exploded. Not damaged, gone. The remaining vessels stopped instantly. The human ship spoke again. This is your last warning. The fleet retreated. Across the galaxy, ancient beings understood what younger species could not. This ship was not a weapon of war, it was a test. Inside the human ship, the collective mind observed the galaxy carefully. They measured responses, fear, aggression, restraint. They were not deciding who to destroy, they were deciding who could be trusted. Meanwhile, deep in unknown space, something answered the ship's silent call. Human signals echoed through hidden paths, old fleets awakened. Hidden worlds turned their eyes back to the stars. Humanity had not died. It had waited. Back in the capital system, the Empire finally asked the right question. "What do you want?" The reply came slowly. "We want to know," the ship said, "if the galaxy learned anything after we were gone." The ship powered down once more. But the fear did not fade. Because now the galaxy understood the truth. The lost human ship had not returned alone. It had returned as a messenger. And whatever followed it would change everything. Silence did not bring peace. It brought fear. After the human ship powered down near the rebuilt moon base, the galaxy waited. Minutes passed, then hours. Nothing happened. No attack. No message. To many empires, that silence felt worse than war. Fear began to turn into anger. They are watching us. They are judging us. They are deciding our fate. The strongest empires could not accept that idea. They had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. They had crushed rebellions and erased species. They would not bow to a single ship, no matter how powerful it seemed. A secret alliance was formed. 7 major empires met in hidden space. Their leaders spoke with calm voices, but fear hid beneath every word. "If we wait, we lose control. If more human ships arrive, it will be too late. This is our only chance." They agreed on one thing. The human ship must be destroyed now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now, across multiple star systems, ancient war fleets were activated. Ships that had not moved in centuries woke from deep sleep. Weapons older than most civilizations were powered on. The Alliance gathered everything it had, not to win a war, to erase a threat. The fleets jumped together, tearing space apart with their arrival. Thousands of ships filled the capital system, surrounding the human ship and its artificial moon. For the first time, the galaxy felt confident again. The human ship did not react. It did not raise shields. It did not move. That made the Alliance nervous. An ultimatum was sent. "Human vessel," the message said. "You are a threat to galactic stability. Power down and surrender." No reply came. Weapons charged. Energy built across the fleets, bright enough to light the stars. Commanders gave the final order: fire. The galaxy unleashed everything it had. Beams of energy crossed space, missiles darkened the stars. Ancient weapons bent gravity and tore at reality itself. The human ship vanished behind light and destruction. For a brief moment, the Alliance believed they had won. Then the light faded. The human ship was still there, untouched. Not a single mark appeared on its hull. Fear returned instantly. Before anyone could react, the human ship moved. Not fast, not slow. Reality bent around it. The space near the attacking fleets twisted. Ships lost formation. Navigation failed. Command links went silent. Then the ship spoke. "You chose fear," it said. "You chose force." Time slowed. Alliance ships began to shut down, not all at once, but one by one. Power drained. Crews floated helplessly as gravity failed. Some ships vanished completely, folded into nothing. Others were frozen in place, locked in time. The human ship did not destroy the fleets. It removed them. Within minutes, the greatest military force the galaxy had ever gathered was gone. The remaining empires watched in horror. The human ship turned toward the Alliance's home systems. Not aggressively, calmly. "This ends now," the ship said. Inside the ship, the human collective felt something old and painful: disappointment. They had hoped the galaxy had changed. They were wrong. Across the galaxy, panic became chaos. Governments collapsed. Worlds demanded protection that no one could give. The Alliance begged for mercy. Too late. The human ship did not attack their planets. Instead, it revealed the truth. Data flooded galactic networks, hidden records, war crimes. Lies about Earth, proof that the war against humanity was planned, not justified. The galaxy saw the past clearly for the first time. Shame spread faster than fear. Many empires turned against the Alliance. Some worlds declared neutrality. Others sent messages of apology. The human ship listened, Then it made one final move. It sent a signal deeper into space. A signal older than language, a call. Far away, beyond known maps, stars began to move. Human fleets awakened, not vast armadas. Not invasion forces, observers, guardians. The galaxy understood the final truth. Humanity did not return to rule. It returned to prevent what had been done to them from ever happening again. The human ship turned back toward the dead moon. Its mission was almost complete. But the galaxy would never be the same. Because now everyone knew, if humanity chose war, no empire could stop them. And if humanity chose peace, it was a gift, not a weakness. After the battle that was not a battle, the galaxy fell into silence. No one attacked. No one challenged the human ship again. The empires watched from a distance, afraid to move, afraid to speak. Entire civilizations waited, holding their breath as if the stars themselves were listening. The human ship remained near the artificial moon. Its light dimmed, calm and steady, like a heart at rest. Then it spoke again. This time, the message was sent to every world, every station, every listening mind in the galaxy. It was not a threat, it was a story. You believe Earth was destroyed, the human ship said. That belief was allowed? Images filled the networks, not propaganda, not edited lies. Raw recordings, clear and complete, the galaxy watched. They saw Earth during the final days of the war, cities burning, skies filled with enemy fleets, human ships fighting until they broke apart. Then something changed. The images showed Earth's surface folding inward, not exploding. Oceans vanished into light. Continents disappeared into darkness. Earth was not destroyed, it was moved. The galaxy gasped. We learned early, the ship continued, that survival required more than weapons. Human scientists had seen the war coming. They knew they could not win by force. So they chose something else. They hid. Earth was moved into a pocket of folded space, sealed from normal reality. Time inside slowed. The planet was protected, watched, and allowed to heal. Humanity did not die, it retreated. The war ended, and the galaxy believed it had won. That belief was the greatest mistake it ever made. While the galaxy grew comfortable, humanity rebuilt. They studied their enemies. They learned from every failure. They reshaped themselves not to rule, but to endure. The lost ship was part of that plan, a final observer. A test, to see what the galaxy would become without humanity in it. Silence followed the message. Across the stars, worlds reacted differently. Some leaders fell to their knees in shame. Others screamed in anger. A few felt something unexpected, relief. Earth still lived. Humanity was still alive. The human ship continued. We did not return to reclaim territory, it said. We returned to decide our future, the galaxy waited. Inside the ship, the human collective debated. They were no longer individuals, but they still carried human emotion, hope, fear, memory. They had seen the galaxy's choice. Fear had come first, violence second, truth last. That mattered. The ship sent another signal, this one quiet and focused. It reached a hidden place, Earth. For the first time in centuries, humanity looked outward again. On Earth, skies opened. Stars returned. Human cities watched the night sky with wonder and caution. Generations had passed since the war. Many believed the galaxy beyond Earth was a myth. Now it was real again. Earth responded. Not with fleets, with a message. We are listening. The human ship felt something it had not felt in a very long time. Home, back in galactic space, some empires began to change. Borders opened. Fleets stood down, records were released, truth spread faster than lies ever had. Others refused to accept it. A final group of hardline empires prepared one last desperate act. If they could not defeat humanity, they would force it to choose destruction. They armed Forbidden's weapons. Weapons that could kill stars. The human ship detected the preparations instantly. It did not warn them, instead it acted. The weapons never fired. Their systems failed before activation. Their power sources collapsed into harmless light. The empires were left defenseless, but alive. The human ship spoke one final time to the galaxy. This is your future, it said, not domination. Not extinction. Choice. The ship turned away from the capital system and opened a path in space, a bridge, not a gate for invasion, a road for return. Human ships began to appear, not warships, but explorers, builders, diplomats. They spread slowly, carefully, watching and learning. The galaxy realized the truth. Humanity was no longer fighting to survive. It had already won that battle. Now it was deciding what kind of power it wanted to be. And that decision would shape the galaxy forever. The galaxy waited. For the first time in its long history, it was not waiting for war, conquest, or collapse. It was waiting for a decision made by a species it once tried to erase. Humanity. Human ships moved slowly through known space. They did not arrive in large fleets. They did not take control of systems or demand loyalty. They simply appeared, watched, and listened. Everywhere they went, fear followed them. But so did hope. On many worlds, old leaders stepped down. New voices rose, records were opened. Truth replaced myths that had lasted for centuries. Species that had once been silenced began to speak again. The galaxy was changing, not by force but by presence. The lost human ship returned to its place near the artificial moon. Its task was nearly complete. It had delivered the truth, exposed the lies, and shown the galaxy what humanity had become. Now came the hardest part, choosing what came next. On Earth, humanity gathered, not in one place but across the planet. Voices connected through shared networks, young and old. Born before the war and born long after it. They saw the galaxy clearly now. They saw its beauty and its cruelty. Some humans demanded justice. They remembered the burning skies, the lost billions, the silence that followed. Others argued for peace. They said the galaxy had already paid its price through fear and shame. The debate lasted days, then Earth answered. The message was sent through the same bridge the lost ship had opened. It reached every system, every world, every listening mind. We remember, the message said. We forgive. The galaxy was stunned. But we do not forget. Humanity did not ask for apology. It did not demand territory or tribute. Instead, it offered something no empire had ever offered before: protection. The human ship spoke once more, its voice carrying both strength and sadness. The age of empires is over, it said. No world will be erased again. Some empires resisted. A few tried to hide forbidden weapons. Others planned secret rebellions. Humanity stopped them without violence. Weapons failed. Fleets stood down. Leaders were exposed by their own people. Control slipped away, replaced by accountability. Not punishment, balance. The human ship began to withdraw from the center of the galaxy. Its systems dimmed, its purpose fulfilled. The collective within it felt peace for the first time in centuries. They had done what they were built to do. Behind them, humanity took its place not as rulers but as watchers, guardians, explorers, teachers. Human outposts formed on the edges of systems. Trade replaced conquest. Knowledge replaced fear. Species once divided by borders began to speak to each other freely. The galaxy did not become perfect, but it became better. In the deep void, the lost ship turned one last time and sent a private message to Earth. Mission complete, it said. Earth replied simply. Welcome home. The ship did not return. It moved beyond known space once more. Some said it chose to watch from the shadows. Others believed it became something greater, guarding paths no one else could see, but its legend spread across the stars. Worlds taught their children a new lesson. That humans were once underestimated, that they were once hunted, that they survived. Not because they were strongest, but because they refused to disappear. The story of the lost human ship became a warning and a promise. Never push humanity to the edge, because when humans return, they return prepared. And the galaxy would remember that truth for all time.